How's it going, guys? My name is Mac. I'm the proud owner of Cherry Bomb, and I've got one small problem with the truck. Everything with the new truck, I love it, except for when I put the SOS Off-Road Concepts swing out bumper on the rear, it blocks my camera. So this is what it currently looks like when I back up. Can't see anything because the bumper blocks it. So today we are going to relocate it. Thankfully, the person that I bought the old bumper from gave me a 3D printed bracket to hold the camera in on the actual swing out. So I have some wire. We're here with Ricky at Roach Werks Garage, and we're gonna knock this out. It's dark, so bear with me on the light, but we'll make it work. Let's jump into it. Ta-da! Super easy, all the little screws, whatever size they are.
T30s.
T30s. Yeah, so the bigger ones go along the very edge in the back here, and then the little guys go around like a little U. This is where the camera's gonna be. It's gonna be a little clip right there, clip there, and then it'll trace back over. Right in there is where it goes from the tailgate, and it pops out right there. Nice, very nice.
So you gotta get this to lift off because there's a nub right here. So if you lift this with a small screwdriver up, you can pull off
the little nub. So that one on the edge of the tailgate, you just kind of squeeze it together. Those
I just pushed. I pushed the little fin that way, and it popped right out.
Fins to the passenger side.
Yeah.
Feed her through. Everything's gonna fit through that little trap door hole. Ta-da! And then there's another one on the underside of the bed. They're using a panel tool to get a little clip.
Release.
Very nice.
So, got these little tangs you got to press inwards to get it to
Ka-chow out.
And then there's this little
other trap door
right here.
Oh look, there's dirt in there. Huh. How'd that get there? Huh. And then the plug from underneath. Ta-da! So what do we got? On this side's 8-pin, but I don't think it uses all 8 pins. How many does it use? 5?
3 and 5 right there.
And then I think this side only uses 4.
And 4 right here, yep.
That's weird.
That is weird.
We'll have to figure it out when we rip it apart. So we've been evaluating and calculating here. And so the cable harness itself is actually decently long. And so this is the 3D printed bracket that we have. This is the table that's folded down because we're trying to make sure we don't squish the cable. So pretty close. So right here we have enough room, more room than we need to have the cable come out of, because we can't go underneath the table because it'd just squish it. And with how long it is, we almost barely need to add anything. So the good news is we have plenty of wire, and because we're gonna go through that same trap door right there. So we'll probably need to add maybe 3 feet if we were being, you know, better to have extra.
Yep.
And then we're probably gonna do zip ties for now, and then later come back and do
drill and tap.
Some self-tappers to make it nice and clean. So, okay, solder time. Kind of want to show you what the inside of a wiring harness looks like. It's got this like, it almost looks like an Ethernet cable.
Yeah.
Like the sheathing on it. And then we notice here on this side it's thicker here because this is what's exposed. So this is where the tailgate connects, and this plugs in under the bed, so it's thicker here just to be better protected from the elements. So we're just ripping it off here. So this little guy, which is plugs into the bottom of the tailgate, just take a little trim removal tool, and then boom, and then that'll come off. We don't know what this is. That's okay. We're not going to touch it. And we're going to expand our wire somewhere on this side where it's easier. And then we're just going to cover this back up with the thicker one, which actually makes sense of why it's thicker, to cover up that. And we're going to leave it as it is because we don't want to, you know,
spend another hour undoing tape?
Undoing tape and murdering the harness anymore that we've done, and it not work later on. So we're just going to retape this end. It'll be nice and protected like it was supposed to be from the factory. And then we'll be moving on. Alright, so we bought this little cheapy, what does that even say? Firmery. Professional electrical wire manufacturer. Looked like that was made in Word. And it comes with what, 6?
6.
And some
Zip
respective
ties.
colors of zip ties and some stuff. So it's not bad for what it is. And we're gonna actually match the colors on here because we're Gucci. And so we've got what? Green, white, red, and black. Let's get to it.
Dielectric grease in them to help against corrosion, which will be good since somebody likes to take their truck in the mud.
Yo, I clearly
Overgauged your wire.
overgauged my wire. I'm not an electrician.
OEM? Cherry approved.
Hey, 14 gauge. But at least I was overestimating. So that just slaps on there. And then give it a squeeze, squeeze. And that's that. And then it seals itself.
So there's 4 wires, white, red, green, black, and then there's like a ground or a drain. However, that drain is not attached to anything in this harness, and we had this all the way apart, and it's a solid cable like this,
Yeah.
all the way to here.
So it has like no sheathing on it, like no protective. And if you're familiar with Ethernet cables, you'll use this and you'll pull it to get rid of the coating. So we're gonna try it without that, and then if we're gonna go test it real quick, and if we need it, we'll do another one. But we don't know what that is. Folks, 4 and 4. It's a little bit of a gaggle because we don't have our plastic over it yet. But we're gonna go test it and make sure that we don't need this whatever the heck. If we do, fine. We'll throw it on another wire before we need to close it up. We're taking this little do a hick throw in reverse. It works. I have no idea what that other cable is.
It's Toyota. They over-engineered it.
Yep, yep. So, okay, we had to remember how to get the camera out of the existing OEM harness. And there's 2 little baby Phillips head screwdrivers, and when you do the 2 10 mils on the edge here, that comes out. So you do not have to take the whole handle out, which would involve a lot more involved. So now we can take this out, relocate it over to the swing out, and close up. You undo those little 2, take that harness off, and then we'll put that factory harness back on with everything, but keep the screws.
And this faces up.
The F?
The F.
F faces up. And then we'll slap it over here and everything should be fine and dandy. I hope. A little bit of a finesse. Look at that. The camera was installed. The hardest thing was getting those screws, but it is a nice clean mount. And now we're gonna double check it, turn the truck on, and make sure that the camera is the right way up. All right, people, that is the right way. You can see the concrete and the car coming right there. It is mounted correctly. Okay, so we put that OEM piece for the harness, for the camera back in. Beautiful. Now we can tighten this up. Remember, the big ones go on the edge here, and the little ones go on the other edge.
And I like to just get them started.
We got a little bit of wiggle room right here. It's looking good. Everything's lining up just as planned.
Get your fingers cut.
Oh, I've never seen that before.
Yes, this is called the I like you way to cut zip ties.
So, got that trap door in, got that zipped. Looking good. It's all hanging out right there. And there is enough room to where the tailgate can come down no problem.
I'm just gonna zip tie it to the factory cable that's underneath it here.
Oh yeah, I think it's the harness for all the other safety things that we don't use anymore.
Yeah.
Boom. So it's just beautiful. It's gonna look obviously a little bit better once we get rid of the zip ties, but I think from the back you won't be able to tell. And so now we do have this hole here in the tailgate handle, but I'm gonna try and get another camera to plug that hole or find a plug something like that. So there it is. Very nice, very discreet. It looks good with that 3D printed hardware. Now we can actually see something.
Wait, what's that?
Oh wow, there's a car there.
It's not the tray?
Oh, alrighty guys, that's gonna wrap it up. It wasn't terrible. Some people do other things where they add another camera and all that. We want to try this. It seems logical, it's cheaper. So yeah, I'd recommend doing this. Just buy some wire, make your harness longer, get some protective sheathing on it, the plastic protective coat, but that's it. I'm very excited to have a backup camera again, especially living in the city. It's a must around here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Check out all of Ricky's stuff. He does custom wiring harnesses for first gens, and so you can get some Gucci stuff from his store. But that's about it. If you want to check out my other videos, please do. Just dropped the winter forest run last week and people like that. So alrighty, thank you guys so much. I love you. God bless. Bye. That was impressive.
Like that?